In this video I will show you how to work the last steps of your hanging jute basket, depending on which size you're making. The next step is step 8 if you're doing size S. If you're doing size M, this is the step 9. Or if you're doing size L, this would be step 12. So I'm working a size M right now, so this is step 9. Step 9 starts with slip stitching and the stitch with the stitch marker. I removed the stitch marker and now I am slip stitching. So take a look at your pattern, how many chains you have to make for the loop. So in size M it's chain 8, so I will chain 8. All right, I chained 8 and now I'm slip stitching back into the same stitch I slip stitched before. All right, then I'm chain 1 and the step 9 is finished. Okay, so next is to turn your project inside out. I remove my hook and create a big loop that's not slipping out, and now I'm turning my whole project inside out. So now those lines we created in our project will be outside, and for sure that's what we want to see. All right, so I turn it a bit and put in back the hook. So now take a look at your pattern, how many single crochets you have to work inside the loop. So for size M, that's 10 single crochets, and therefore I turn my basket a bit and start working single crochet inside of the loop. So you can pull them a bit aside and make them just more clean, and I will meet you back when I made my 10 single crochets. Now I made my 10 single crochets here inside, or you made as many as the pattern says for your size, and yeah, just move them a bit that they look even and clean. So we go on and slip stitching here into the 2 front loops of our project. I will show it a bit closer. So here is normally our 2 loops we're working in, you remember? So the front loop and the back loop, but we turned the whole project inside out. So actually the 3rd loop we worked in before is now here inside. It's this one, and this is actually the back loop, and this is actually the front loop, so everything is reversed. So, and now for slip stitching around, we are working in the 3rd loop here in front and the back loop, which is this one, to create again the ribbing effect here outside. So, and to create the ribbing effect, we are not allowed to work in this one. So for the next slip stitches, we are taking this one down here and this one, I hope you can see it. So this is the 2 stitches here. We take the 2 of them and do slip stitches all the way around our basket. and I will meet you back when I reach the loop again. So now I reached the end. I single crocheted completely around. So we created again this line here, and the edge is just more stable and have a nice clean edge. So we go on and slip stitch in every single crochet here around our loop. Therefore, insert your hook in the very first single crochet made and slip stitching around. And here you don't have to take a look in which loop you insert, just take the first two you see and slip stitching around. So I will meet you back. So I slip stitched around my loop. This gave it a really nice look, I think, and makes it again more stable. So I reached the last stitch, and now I'm just cutting yarn and pull it through, and now I have to weave in this end. Therefore, just use a darning needle or a smaller crochet hook to insert the jute and weave it in, and I will meet you back to create the wrap knot. So now we are doing the wrap knot to give our hanging basket the final finish. Therefore I cut a thread of 80 centimeters, but you can play a bit with it if you want it thicker or smaller, and yeah, you will find it out. So just turn your basket so you have the back side facing you. You're taking your thread, the short end is here, and just follow the loop. Create a loop on top of the existing loop. All right, and now hold your thread, turn it a bit, and now start to wrap around the long end of the thread around the whole loop here. Secure everything a bit with your thumb here, that it's not slipping away, and mind your tension. It's important that you're using the same tension for the whole wrap knot. If not, it looks a bit odd. And just wrapping around side by side as often as you want. And if this is your first time doing the wrap knot, just take your time and do it for like 2, 3, 4 times, because it's not super simple but makeable. And yeah, just take your time. And for me, I feel like this is enough of the wrap knot. And now I'm taking this end and put it here inside of the loop I created. So now I have here the short end, which I wrapped around, and here the short end of the beginning. And now I just pull here, and by pulling I close the loop I created here in the beginning. So, and then it will slip under the wrap knot. And now taking both ends and give it a little tug. Not too tight, but tight enough that it's not opening up on its own. Yeah, and just pull it and stretch it a bit. And take a look on the other side, if this is how you like it. If you want it thicker or if you want it smaller, then just adjust the wrapping times around the knot. And yeah, if you like it so, then just weave in both ends, cut the yarn, and you finished your hanging jute basket.